No, that's just to wipe it off.
Good morning. We're going to get started with the Wednesday, October 27 Russell County Commission meeting. Appreciate everyone being here today. We're going to get started with our invocation by Marty Hawley from the Baptist Association. Marty, if you will, please rise for the invocation and then followed by the pledge, which will be led by Commissioner Reed.
Let us pray together. Father God, we thank you for this day, this beautiful, cool fall day. We acknowledge to you that every day is a gift from you. Even the air we breathe is a gift from you. Lord, I pray for the gentlemen and ladies in this room as they're assembled together for Russell County Commission meeting. Lord, I pray that you will grant them wisdom that comes from you and knowledge, and true wisdom and true knowledge does come from you. Lord, I pray that the spirit of unity will prevail in this room today, that all the decisions that are made, Lord, will be for the betterment of all, even the citizens throughout this fine county. Lord, those that vote, Lord, those that give pay their taxes. And Lord, I pray that everything that is done in this room today will be pleasing to you. This I pray in your name. Amen.
Salute. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Scott, will you see if there's any names in that list?
I don't see anybody in here.
All right, next up, we will have our public comments. We have no one listed. Was there anyone here for public comments that didn't make the list? All right, thank you. We'll move forward.
We all regulars this morning.
Yeah, I think pretty much, I don't see many visitors to our meetings, and obviously, we have it on Facebook for those that are unable to attend today or for some reason did not want to attend and wanted to view the meeting. Want to welcome our elected officials, visitors, department heads, and guests today that appreciate you coming out and taking the time to be here today for this meeting. As a note, Commissioners, the agenda was approved at the work session on October 25th, so that is the agenda before you. And we will establish a quorum. Ms. Colbert, will you please call the roll?
Yes, sir. District 3, Costello. District 5, Epps.
Here.
District 2, Chambers.
Here.
District 7, Screws. District 4, Reed.
Here.
District 1, Lee.
Present.
District 6, Corbett.
Here.
Motion to approve the minutes as printed.
Motion by Commissioner Epps.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes unanimous. Thank you. Proclamations and resolutions. So first, we have the renewal of a resolution for the Russell County, NIMS compliant county. We'll ask our interim EMA director, Mr. Martin.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Thank
you. Approves the incident management. It's something that is required for our EMPG grants. This is just a renewal for your signatures.
All right, Commissioners, you have the resolution in front of you. As I've stated on Monday night, we approved almost the exact same resolution back around 2006 or 2007. Motion by Commissioner Lee. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Reed. Any other discussion or comments? All right, Mr. Martin, once we sign this, if we can make sure you get a copy and the administrator does for our files as well, that'd be great.
And put one in a safe somewhere so
Yeah,
we know
please
where
do.
it is.
Electronic is the way to go now.
That's right.
Well, I don't know, those disappeared too.
All right, thank you. Will you call the roll, please?
Mr.
Yes, sir.
Chairman,
I'm
District
sorry,
5.
stand by, I'm
before we
sorry.
call the roll,
Ms. Epps?
should this be read into the minutes? or is this
If you're
going
requesting it to, we can. I don't see a reason to, but if you
Okay.
want it to. Okay,
It'll be in the minutes, a copy of it'll be in the minutes.
go ahead, Ms. Colbert.
District 5, Epps.
Yes.
District 2, Chambers.
Yes.
District 4, Reed.
Yes.
District 1, Lee.
Yes.
District 6, Corbett.
Yes. Thank you. Passes unanimous. Next up, we have no discussion items. We took care of anything we had Monday night there. And business items, we have approval for an ad in the Business Alabama magazine. Mr. Cross? I'm sorry. Will you grab that microphone? I'm sorry. It's for the TV or for the
Make sure it's
other
on.
more than anything.
We need just to leave it on. It's hard to get on and off.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would just ask that the commission approve us placing a full-page color ad in Business Alabama monthly magazine. They're doing a spotlight on our region. And after some research and discussion with a lot of folks, I think it would be well worth the $2,887 to place the ad in that publication.
All right, thank you. That's-
Motion to approve with the funds coming from tourism, I guess.
All right, motion by
Second.
Commissioner Lee, seconded by Commissioner Reed. I will make one comment. We had a presentation on this. It was a good presentation,
Yeah.
and I still have the examples up here if anyone wants to see the magazine and what the spotlight would look like. It's up here for your viewing. All right, any other comments or questions? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimous. Thank you. Next up, we have 911 board appointment. Commissioner Lee.
Yes, Mr. Eddie Seymour, who has served Russell County and the 911 Board for many years, very well, has let us know that he no longer wants to serve. So since that was my appointment, at this time, I want to appoint Mr. John Rogers to fill the term of Mr. Seymour. You don't need a vote on
Thank
that.
you. For the minutes, Commissioner Lee has chosen John Rogers of 911 Board for District 1.
And I have given that information to Ms. Paulette and Ms. Dana.
All right, thank you. Next up, the new phone system. That'll be our maintenance director, Mr. Watson.
Good morning, Commission
morning.
Chairman. Maintenance is ready to move forward at this time for the purchase of the new phone equipment from Beam in the amount of $12,298. But moving forward requires that the commission vote to give the chairman permission to sign the contract that's necessary to move forward. So at this time, I'm asking that the commission vote to let the chairman sign the contract with Beam to move forward with the phone system.
I move that we accept the recommendation.
All right, motion by Commissioner Epps.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Reed. Any other discussion or comments? I have that in front of me, Leon. It will be signed when we're through. It's pending the approval.
Okay.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed unanimous. Thank you, Leon. Next up, Sheriff, the jail supplies bid award.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. We are at the time of year where we bid out our surplus supplies, our cleaning supplies, all the things in the jail that we use other than the food. We received 2 bids, one from Columbus Paper and one from Merchants. I went over those bids Monday night. At this time, I would ask that the commission approve Merchants to receive the bid award.
All right, you've heard the request of the sheriff. Do we have a motion to that effect?
I so move.
Motion by Commissioner Reed. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Chambers. Any discussion or comments? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed unanimous. Thank you, Sheriff. Next is declare vehicles for sale.
Yes, sir. I have 2 vehicles that are titled to the commission. I would ask that both of these vehicles be surplused so that we can sell them on Gov Deals and then return the money to the general fund. One is a 2013 Dodge Charger and one is a 2011 Ford Crown Vic.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept the recommendation from the sheriff.
All right, motion to approve by Commissioner Epps. Do we have a
Second.
second? Seconded by Commissioner Reed. Any other discussion or comments? All those opposed? Motion passes unanimous. Next up is the COVID Support Center, Sheriff.
Mr. Chairman, I presented Monday night a in-depth diagram as well as provided the documentation of the vehicle that we're requesting for a community truck that would serve our community in multiple ways. It is outfitted for health clinics, vaccination clinics, any type of flu vaccination, COVID vaccination. It would travel our community, our county, as also for crime prevention, any community event types of things. We will be using this vehicle. The vehicle is multifaceted in the sense of it's completely up-to-date electronically with as well as a crime scene vehicle. It has all the things that we would need for that as well. I would ask that the commission approve the cost of the vehicle out of the CARES Act money, and I have been in discussion with our attorney, and I have provided her with the crime stats that she asked for Monday night as well on the Russell County crime stat increase. It is pretty drastic over the last 2 years that we've been dealing with COVID on a lot of the violent offenses that we deal with, and so she has that, but I would ask that the commission approve the $820.
At this time, is there a motion?
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Lee.
before we make a motion, we've got 2 commissioners not here today. I really think this need to have more commissioners here before we vote on this.
Well,
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Reed.
long we got the majority.
Well, you can do that.
We can go ahead and move on this. We don't need it.
well, and I'm not sure Commissioner Costello could vote on it anyway,
Well,
being honest.
it doesn't benefit him.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you could vote
Yeah.
on that.
It don't help him any.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to say this. I wasn't present the last time, but they went here and voted.
Yeah, but wasn't spending
I
$800,000.
have not.
Okay.
I've talked to Commissioner Costello, obviously, and he is all for it.
Yeah.
I have not specifically spoke to Commissioner Screws only due to scheduling, not any other reason.
All right.
But I would also ask, before we have a motion or anything, to hear from our attorney in reference to this, and also from Commissioner Chambers, who was there directly with me, and give his opinion of what we're trying to accomplish with this vehicle.
Well, let me real quick. We don't have a motion on the table yet.
That's right.
So do we have a motion to,
Mr. Chairman, that what you waiting on?
Let's
I so move.
Let's let the attorney tell us
okay.
first.
Move it.
All right. That got convoluted quick. So I have a motion by Commissioner Reed. Do we have a second? Okay,
I'll second it.
okay. Seconded by Commissioner Epps. Now we're going to go in discussion. Ms. Hicks, can you talk to what the sheriff was requesting?
Yes, we were here Monday. The sheriff did an excellent presentation. I spent a good bit of time yesterday researching just to make sure this is a lot of money. I want to make sure that meets all the requirements. And so under the interim final rule that the U.S. Treasury has issued, which is the most up-to-date rule that there is at this point, the interim final rule is about 158 pages. And I went through it with a fine-tooth comb yesterday to see if I saw anything that gave me hesitation or pause. And there were a couple of things that made me have a little hesitation that I've spoken to the sheriff about this morning. And the sheriff is abundantly clear in this, that this is not simply a crime scene vehicle, that this is a Russell County vehicle to be used for crime prevention, crime scenes, and for community-based violence prevention. We've talked about the ways he intends to use it. We've talked about the ways that there'll be a log kept of every time this vehicle is used, so that if there is any question about it, that we'll always have the documentation. Right. The interim final rule gives us two big categories that I think this vehicle falls under. One is responding to the public health emergency or its negative impacts by providing COVID-19 response and prevention, including temporary and public medical facilities and other measures to increase COVID-19 treatment capacity related to COVID-19 vaccination programs. In addition to COVID-19, the interim final rule is very clear that the COVID-19 pandemic affirmized populations, lower income, and racial minorities had decreased access to health. If this vehicle is used to provide COVID vaccination clinics, flu vaccination clinics, then I believe this vehicle would fall under that use. The second category is responding to the public health emergency or its negative economic impacts by providing programs, services, or other assistance to populations disproportionately impacted by the COVID-19 public health emergency, such as programs or services that facilitate access to health and social services, including community violence intervention programs. If the sheriff is taking this and taking it to the schools, if he's taking it to Crawford Market Days, if it's going to all of these public events where the sheriff and his staff can interact with people, build a relationship between law enforcement and the community, actually put on programs about gun violence prevention, trying to get into the schools to stop gang violence, gun violence, those type things, then I think it falls under that. The one other thing, and I've already talked with Ms. Colbert about it, long after we are all gone from this, if this truck lasts the 30 years that we think it's going to last, then it will be bought with federal money. It's not really federal grant money, but there are certain rules and regulations about disposing of property bought with federal funds. We want to make sure we document this so that those that come after us, when it's time for this vehicle to be retired, that it's properly disposed of under federal guidelines. If we use it for COVID-related health and health issues in disproportionately impacted communities, if it's used for crime prevention, I believe it falls under the terms of the American Rescue Plan.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Get my mic to come on. Commissioner Lee?
So Sheriff, looks like if we purchase this, you're gonna have a lot of record keeping to keep, and I think you can handle the record keeping.
I got it.
Let me speak to that too. I mean, I think that's a good plan anyway.
Sure.
I could attest to the one across the river. If it's ever dispatched anywhere, there's a log always of where it goes. So it's smart to do that anyway.
Yep.
For maintenance issues, for just, you know, if the commission come up and ask you, Sheriff, how many times have you used that this year? You literally could tell us. So that's important, I think.
Well, and I didn't say this Monday, but I told her this morning in the sense that the factory is recommending that we, what they call exercise the vehicle every 2 weeks. So we already are planning on bringing the vehicle out from wherever it's stored and going somewhere every 2 weeks to Walmart parking lot or a school or somewhere and setting the vehicle up, communicating and interacting with the community every 2 weeks, and that's just to keep the vehicle maintained properly. So it's going to be multi-used for that. All of that is going to be covered.
Very good. I will say, as a commissioner, not as a chair, that I feel like this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the county to do something that is going to support a lot of different programs. You mentioned a lot of programs. If you go back to when we did all of the stuff that's down there at David's shop, the Metropolitan Medical Response System stuff, all of that was used for so many programs, and it's been used so many times, and I fully expect this to be there. I think it's a good use of the funds. I do hate, as a chairman, I hate that Commissioner Screws is not here. However, I do understand there is a time crunch on this purchase, and due to shipping and other manufacturing delays, there is a time crunch. So at this time, I'm leaning towards supporting this anyway, even though, and we'll just, share the details at a different time. Any other comments or
Mr.
discussion?
Chair.
Commissioner Lee.
I know she already answered it, but just in real simple terms, our attorney says this is an allowed purchase under the American Rescue Plan. She thinks it is.
That's what she said.
Based on the latest information that's out, based on the U.S. Treasury's interim final rule, the U.S. Treasury's frequently asked questions forum that they have, based on the information from the National Association of Counties, everything I've read, I believe this is an authorized use.
Great.
Thank you.
I will also say that based on conversations we had on Monday night, that if she would have come back and said that it wasn't, I think we were, as a commission, going to be proactive and try to find the money anyway, whether it was borrowing it or whatever. So I think we're going in the right direction either way, and if we come back and there's some other, we'll have to take action at that point. So, Commissioner Epps?
Yes, I was going to say that just about everything she said was given to us in this package right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is outlined in writing.
Yes, ma'am.
So I don't see where we can go wrong following our attorney
I agree.
recommendation. So with that being said, I would suggest that we call for the vote.
I agree.
Mr. Chairman, I got one comment to make.
All right, I'll allow that. Go ahead,
I'm
Commissioner.
sick and tired when a commissioner, or maybe one or two, be absent. This county government must go on. We can't stop the government because you got one or two members absent.
Yes, sir.
So we need to go ahead and move forward. Point of order.
Well, I will.
We're going to that.
I don't know if we were actually going the question. We let you talk. You were the one that took us off. So
I'm
the
just
point of
saying, let's
order.
go ahead. I said we had to go ahead and move with the vote.
Yeah, and I will say one comment as I do that. It's just courtesy. That's the only, we're just trying to exercise courtesy. Ms. Colbert, will you please call the question?
District 5 Epps,
Yes.
District 2 Chambers,
Yes.
District 4 Reed,
Yes.
District 1 Lee,
Yes.
District 6 Corbett.
Yes. Motion passed unanimous.
And I just out of asking for respect, I did want Commissioner Chambers to comment on the truck. We kind of skipped over it and went for the vote.
I had
but-
somebody call
but
me
I
a
did-
question, so I was done.
I did drag him all the way to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I'm sure he
everybody
did,
here in
man.
the county will be surprised when they see what we're going to repurchase them.
That's very good.
Phenomenal vehicle.
All right. We're going to move on to the next item, which falls under the county engineer. First one is Pavilion and Fence at Ladonia Sports Complex.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. We discussed Monday night about placing pavilion, using the American Rescue Plan money to place pavilions throughout the county to have broadband access and all. We have a facility at the Ladonia Sports Complex, so we already have the concrete pad and was looking to purchase a pavilion to put there, but due to the fact that we were going to do multiple pavilions throughout the county, we need to bid this out as a public works bid for pavilions. So at this time, I'd like to request that we send out bids for pavilions, send them out on 11/2. That'll be middle of next week. Open the bids on 12/2, the week after Thanksgiving, here at the Commission Chambers at 3 o'clock, and award them at 12/8 at the first commission meeting in December.
All right, you have the request of the engineer. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Lee. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Chambers. Any discussion or comments? All right, I will make a note in my discussion that although we have not made any decisions on the other pavilions yet, it is smart to do this. I think it's a good call on that. All right, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed unanimous. Thank you, Sean.
A
Yep.
question for the attorney.
Sure.
Since this will be using the American Rescue Plan, do we need to have a voice vote? Put everybody on record?
Well, right now, you've not said how you're paying for it, it's just sending
Okay.
out the
All
bids.
right.
I did get with Sean where we talked about the fence issue on Monday.
So when-
And I confess, I looked at mobile COVID unit center all day yesterday.
I know.
So I haven't
So
looked
when
at
the
the
bids
fence
come
yet.
back, that's
So-
when we'll have that discussion.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's a good point. If we start spending the money, I think that's a good point. We will try to, y'all hold me to that. Anything we spend on the ARP money, we'll make sure we do a voice vote. I mean,
Did we
call vote on.
I don't think we voted, did we?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Next up is a driveway permit cost.
Yes,
Sean?
sir. I have talked to several counties after we had our conversation Monday night about driveway permits. Out of the 4 I've talked to, 3 of them do not install driveways. 1 of them still does, that's Barber County. I would like to recommend that we stop installing driveway pipes and still do our permit process where a citizen requests a permit, fill out the permit with a $25 application fee. That includes an initial inspection and final inspection of the pipe installation to make sure it's installed correctly. And them hire an outside contractor to install the driveway pipes.
Motion to approve the engineer's request.
Motion by Commissioner Lee. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Chambers. Any other discussion?
Yes, just to kind of, I don't know, the engineer may get some feedback from citizens, but even though he's making this recommendation, it was initiated by the commission for him to come up with a new plan. Isn't that correct?
It is. I think the discussion was that we were charging citizens one amount and not allowing contractors to utilize the same service for different reasons. But yeah, it was brought up to the commission. This wasn't something the engineer just did on his own.
A question,
Commissioner Epps?
would this also apply to businesses that is putting in driveways?
Yes, ma'am, it required anything. And also, I'd like to state that any current, we've got 2 or 3 current driveway permits in our office we're looking at, a couple we're trying to install today. But any current driveway permit we got, we're gonna use the process we're under now.
Yeah, we'd have to.
And this will take place as of whenever the vote is taken going forward.
Yeah, can we just go ahead and set an effective date when I probably think about be smart, when would the ones you have now be done? you think?
Probably by next week.
Okay, so we can make an effective date, what do you say, December 1st?
Yeah, December 1st
All
will
right.
be good.
You could make an effective date that any application received before November 1st.
That's a
That you
good
could
point.
continue doing the work and have it completed by December 1st. But any applications received before November 1st, you'd
Old
do your
plan.
old plan. But anything November 1st or later, you do your new plan.
All right, you
That's
modify your motion
Yeah,
for that?
that's what I said.
Amend your motion? Okay, that's what you said. I just missed that part. All opposed? Motion passes unanimous.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, please.
for the record, because of Commissioner Chambers and his
I'm tracking.
role, could we do a voice vote on
Yeah,
that
will
one?
you please call the vote on that?
District 5 Epps,
Yes.
District 2 Chambers,
Abstain.
District 4 Reed,
Now, I just want to say that I can make a comment we had to discuss.
I'll allow it if you make it quick.
Now, Gentry, you made the statement by Commissioner Screw need to be here since you made that statement. Now, you ain't saying that.
We
You
not
need to be on this right here.
Commissioner, it's a big difference in not spending $800,000
No,
and
but if, I'm gonna go ahead and go along with it. I vote yes.
District 1 Lee,
yes.
District 6 Corbett.
Yes. Thank you. Next up is the Sanitation Department items.
Yes, sir. As I stated Monday night, we do officially own the building and the land at 56 Silver Run Drive in Seale, Alabama. Hickbert Shaw come a previous commission meeting and talked about the facility. We did get an asbestos test done. They did find asbestos in the flooring, and their recommendation was we could remove it under the contract, but I would like to recommend that we hire Hickbert Shaw architect firm to start this process so we can get this building remodeled and get moved in it.
All right, you have the recommendation and request of the engineer. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the recommendation from the engineer.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Epps. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Reed. Any other comments or discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Lee?
The other buildings there, the shop buildings, the storage buildings, are we doing work on them, and are we just doing that ourselves?
Itself is in good shape. The other buildings on the, as you see along, so re-roof that, the rest of the building's in good shape. It's got just a few minor leaks here or there, but then the front building there, as you drive into the shop, we're gonna do all that in-house.
So the only thing the architect's gonna be
Yes.
really involved in is the office building?
Yes, and I have talked with them, and all the civil work done there, we will do with the highway department, putting the road through the drive-through and everything right there to save money.
Okay.
Very good. And a note that the funding for this project right now is planned to come from sanitation.
Right.
So that helps the county as well. Any other comments or questions? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed unanimous. Thank you, Sean. Next up, we have administrator items. Ms. Colbert, do you have anything?
I don't have an item, but I would like to ask but he abstained from the vote.
You're taking the records. I think you might be right on that. Do we have a problem with that, Madam Attorney?
I don't think so.
No, simply brought it to the
Right. All right.
Yeah,
So
we've
we're
had
good.
lots of
So you're
commissioners.
correct
Thank
on that.
you.
Thank you.
We've had lots of times commissioners would make the motion and vote against it.
Yeah, I've done that. A couple months ago, I made the motion and voted against the motion.
If y'all are good with it, I just wanted to make sure that I had it down right.
I thought Gentry was going to fly out of the seat when I did that, so. All right, next up is Human Resources. We have, is Max back? Yeah, sorry, man, you're sitting right on the front row and I missed you there, sorry. Max has in the packets the new hires for September, also the job openings and the remaining vacancies. Anything we need to talk about on that, Max? All right. Good to see you up and running again after your medical issues. So good. Next up, we have the county attorney. Do we have anything?
Just
That's
a
it.
few things. I promise it'll be quick. I put a revised grant application. Ms. Colbert passed those out to you. There is one minute little adjustment that I want to make just so that I think it reads easier, but it won't change any of the information. So if you all would look at this and maybe let's have it on the agenda 2 weeks from now for the application to be approved. Also, I have confirmed the Baldwin County Administrator and their Planning and Zoning Director are available to come to the work session on the 8th, and they would be here at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. I actually think one of their commissioners is going to come with them as well.
So we probably need to officially set the time for that work session is at 4 o'clock.
Is at 4 o'clock. If we'll do it an hour early, that way they can come in, and from here, they have about a 4.5 hour drive home, so.
Yes,
Yes.
on
So-
November 8th.
So I'll move that the work session for November the 8th start at 4.
All right, motion by Commissioner Lee. Have a second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Epps. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, next work session for the record will start on November 8th at 4 PM Eastern Time. And also, as far as the application, Ms. Colbert, if you'll make sure that gets on the agenda for the next meeting, that would be great. Anything else, Ms. Hicks? All right, very good. Commissioner discussion. Commissioners, do you have anything to discuss?
We discussed enough Monday night, I think.
Yeah, the only thing and I was going to say it just a second ago, and it passed by me, but the application, I think it's important for anyone that asks any of our department heads, our commission office commissioners, whoever, about any of the funding for nonprofits, this is the process, and this application should be approved at the next meeting, and then at that point, they'll be able to apply for anything, so I think that's an important mention. Next up are
I
the
have a
I'm
question.
sorry,
I
Mr.
have a
Epps?
question on the application. Since we have these applications, I know it have not been approved yet, but when an organization call for, I get quite a few of them, can the commissioner send this out to them ourselves, or should we have them to pick them up at the office?
Once they're approved, if you want to send them out yourself, I think that's fine. They just need to return them to the office.
Right,
So that way we have one central person getting all the applications
okay.
in.
Thank you.
I'm hoping that when we bring this up at the next meeting, we can also have a conversation about who's going to receive these and who these are going to be forwarded to, because that's an important conversation, so. All right. As far as announcements go, we have the Turning Into Kids program weekly on Thursdays through November 8th from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Russell County Extension Office. Registration is required on that. the Crawford Baptist Church community-wide trunk or treat at Crawford Park, what's actually at the Crawford Walking Trail. The